Flying into Dali on a bright summer's morning is a magical experience. The plane banked around Erhai Lake as the sun picked out the small city perched on its banks. After picking up my bag, I left the airport and was met by Wang Jingchun, one of China's most influential photographers. I first came to know Jingchun's work in 2003, while browsing the vast human exhibition in the Guangdong Art Museum. He was one of the youngest contributors at the time to an exhibition that included many of China's best documentary photographers, past and present. Although still working in Guangzhou as visual director of the infamous Southern Metropolitan newspaper, Jingchun had bought an apartment in Dali where he spends much of his time now. "This is where my heart is," he told me as we drove into the city. "It's where I want my children to grow up." I asked Jingchun to show me his Dali, not the usual view of this popular Yunnan tourist stopover. We started with the long drive into the city, stopping occasionally for pictures of the lake, of boats on the water, and strange modern architecture I found myself obsessing about. We walked through the old city streets, past tour guides holding stringless tennis rackets, followed by crowds of strangely dressed tourists, and onto the film museum to get a brief introduction to the history of Chinese cinema. Lunch was in a small backstreet courtyard, before Jingchun explained the afternoon plan. "To see the real Dali, we need to go to the other side of the lake," he told me. We started with a drive to the base of Chanshan, from where Jingchun could show me the afternoon's route. He pointed to a small peninsula on the far side of the lake that was to be the place we intended to eat our next meal. Shaped like a human ear, in Chinese means ear and hai means sea, it is the 7th biggest freshwater lake in China. At 1,973 meters above sea level, it covers more than 250 square kilometers. Getting to the other side was going to be not as easy as it looked. The road around the lake starts well with a modern paved road, but slowly disintegrates until you are crawling along a dirt track. "They will make this a good road soon," Jingchun assured me, but for now I was enjoying the adventure. The further around the lake we went, the more rural it appeared, and the more friendly the local Bai people became. "Stop!" I kept shouting every time I saw a fisherman mending their nets or children playing in the water as I jumped out to take pictures. Jingchun was more considered with his picture taking, checking the smaller details I often overlooked. After about 4 hours on the road, we reached the peninsula and dropped down to the quayside to find a restaurant. Jingchun had a favourite spot through a maze of alleys to a small eatery on the side of the lake. He ordered, and while we waited for the food, he told me stories of the Nanzhou and Dali kingdoms, both of which made the city their capital in the Tang and Song dynasties. As we returned back to the city, the sun set over the lake as fishermen took off in their small boats at dusk. "Look right!" Jingchun shouted as I was about to doze off. A small boy with yellow paddles was walking by the car, and I took the picture as Jingchun drove. As the light faded and the fishermen melted into darkness, so I put down my camera and reflected on an inspirational day in what must surely be one of China's most beautiful cities.